What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Think About It Reviews. This is spoiler edition, and you know what? I'm gonna just take my time real quick and let you know why I have the title as Think About It Reviews. Basically, it's we see a trailer, and we always ponder and we think about it. We think whether we're gonna go watch that movie or not. And you know what? If you want to go, really want to go watch that movie, there's a lot of critiques out there that maybe the movie's so bad, don't go watch it, or the movie's so good, go watch it. But it's up to you. You're gonna go watch that movie, no matter what we say. So it's really just you'll think about it. You'll think about you'll think about our comments and stuff. But it's all up to you. And this is my opinions. This is why I do these reviews. And I just wanted to dwell a little bit more into this movie. Have with the spoilers. So let's get started. We are spoiler review of where we talk about everything that happened in the film. And if you guys seen the film, let me know what you guys thought about it and what was good and what was bad, because that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. And we were talking about This Is Where I Leave You. It is directed by Sean Levy, and it stars Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Jane Fonda, Adam Driver. And I said the last review, I said the girl from Nashville, and it's Connie Britton. I mean, it's a chick from Nashville. That's her that's her big role. So, and then you have Rose Byrne and then Dax Shepard. The problem with this movie is that, you know what? You have Dax Shepard, you have Rose Byrne, and you know what? They have nothing to do really. They have nothing really to. They're just cliche characters that move the plot along, I guess. But they didn't really have that much to work with. Let's take Rose Byrne. She plays the love interest of Jason Bateman's character Judd. She's the girl who's still in the hometown, who still has feelings for the main character. And I have no clue why she's still single, because there's no way Rose Byrne would still be single. She would be with Seth Rogen or somebody. Somebody's gonna be with that. So she was basically there just to be the rebound girl. And then you had Dax Shepard, who is basically just he's there just a little bit. There's really no character in this. I mean, he was just there that slept with his wife, and that was it. I mean, those two could have been completely out of the movie, and we still would have had a solid movie. You could have had played around with more of the relationship by the Jason Bateman's wife and him maybe struggling in the marriage, but they decided to have like a little plot device to move this to get the character to feel sorry for the character, basically. And that's what it is. The whole movie is basically you have to feel sorry for Jason Bateman's character Judd, because he's a down on his luck kind of guy, and we're rooting for him. But honestly, this movie I didn't really care for some of the people. Like I didn't really care for Tina Fey's Wendy character. She's supposed to be in this marriage where the husband's always busy all the time. They have two kids, but she's in love with the neighbor. They used to used to be in love and used to see each other, but now he had an accident. He had an accident. I guess she was with him when they had that accident, and now he pretty much lost his memory, most of his memory, or he's just trying to cope with. He can't do certain things in his life. So, and she feels guilty, but it's that back and forth, and then they end up sleeping together. But we didn't really care. Like we didn't really care. Did you care? I didn't really care. I didn't really care. There's really that took away from the story. It just didn't need to be there. It just didn't need to be there. And I guess there were part. It was like, and then let's get into Tina Fey's husband. Tina Fey's husband. Most of the time in the movie, he's talking on the phone, and that's it. He's talking on the phone, and he says he's really busy, and he like shoos away his kid, which I am nominating for best supporting actor. That kid who takes his potty outside and just takes a dump, because that kid stole the show. Everybody, that kid needs to get best supporting actor. Not Tina Fey, not Jane Fonda or Adam Driver, just that kid. So basically, that was some of the problems. Like they had characters that didn't really need to be there, and that made the film even longer. So it was that was a problem. And the pace issue was pretty. It would be okay, Then towards the end, it'd be a little bit slow, and you felt kind of a little bit bored with it. But yeah, some of the characters didn't really need to be there, or they just weren't given that much to do. So let's move on to but Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman, is a down on his luck kind of guy. His wife cheats on him. His dad dies. It's all happening at the same time. So you do feel a little bit sorry for Jason Bateman's character, Judd. But I mean, Jason Bateman just always seems to be just Jason Bateman. Every single movie he's in, that's just how he is. It's like Denzel Washington is Denzel Washington in every single movie. So, but he was fine. He was fine in the role. He had the beard going. Good job, Jason. But like, I thought him and Tina Fey. The good thing about this movie, him and Tina Fey have great chemistry. They both had that back and forth. They had that playfulness of a brother and sister, which I didn't really see them as brother and sister, look wise. But teasing each other, yes. And I gotta say, this family is so over the top. I mean, this family just like there's one part where one of the brothers is having sex with his wife because she wants to get pregnant, and they have the baby monitor on. They didn't know the baby monitor was in the room, so basically everybody can hear them having sex. All the people who are seeing the family members while they do their Shiva, which is basically they sit down on the chair and they grieve for a week. But the baby monitor is on, of course, and we hear these two having sex. And it's just like the mom is telling the brother, Adam Driver, who picks it up, and like, oh, it's just sex. The mom's Jane Fonda. She's like, it's just sex. And Adam Driver's turning that baby monitor up so everybody can hear it. It was like there's some ridiculous moments throughout the film, and especially there's one thing that we didn't really need was when I thought it was nice to know that because the dad is like, you really don't care for the dad because he's just we're being told about how he was and how great of a guy he was. We're not being shown, but the little moments they did have where Jason Bateman's Judd character has to wear his jacket, and in the jacket they find joints. I thought that was a nice little, nice little comedic moment, but also you get an insight of what the dad's character really is. So that was sweet and that was tender, but it completely gets ruined when they do this like buffoonery of, of course they're gonna smoke the joint and they're gonna act all goofy and stuff. So that was a little bit over the top, and there's over the top moments in these films, and then there's cliche moments in this film too. But it was not too much of it. There was little twists here and there, and when I was talking about the first little twist was Jason Bateman's wife or ex-wife, who he's divorcing. She's still with Dax Shepard's character, Wade, and as you know, let me just get a little insight. Jason Bateman's character Judd and Dax Shepard's character Wade, they both host a radio show. Of course, Jason Bateman's in the background while Wade does the commentary. Well, they've been together for I believe over 10 years or 10 years, something like that. Well, of course, Dax is sleeping with his wife, and that partnership goes kaput, and the marriage goes kaput too. So, but the little twist, I thought that was pretty nice. They just they said it, and then we moved on from it, and okay, this is part of the story, but it wasn't just a big thing. Was well, it kind of was when Quinn, the wife of Jason Bateman, she reveals that she's pregnant, and it can't be Wade's because Wade is sterile. And I thought that was great. You didn't have to go, oh my God, who's the dad, this and that. It's Jason Bateman's kid. Okay, so let's get this in the plot. Let's move along. It's not Wade's kid. It's sterile. So I thought that was a nice little twist, where they don't drag it out, But there was some issues on the whole thing too, because Wade ends up he's still with the wife, but then towards the end, it's just abruptly I can't deal with it no more. I gotta leave. We're just being told that he sleeps with a lot of women, and he does act like he sleeps with a lot of women, but it just felt so rushed, and the ending kind of felt a little bit rushed too. So we had that situation, and then I think we should talk about the big twist at the end. So basically, everything is just towards the end. Everything is just they find themselves. Everybody has dysfunctional, problems. Jason Bateman with his wife, and the cheating and the baby. Tina Fey with her husband, and then sleeping with the neighbor or the mom's friend's son. And then we have Jane Fonda, the mom, basically have they played the joke throughout the film where she has breast implants, and it was hit and miss here and there. And then you have this younger son, Adam Driver, who basically is a man child, and he has an older woman that he's seen, who's a psychologist, and that's the Nashville woman. So we have them. We have that situation where they're constantly fighting. It's like young and old. They have different personalities and different ways of life. And then we have the older brother, I believe that is played by Corey Stoll, Paul Altman. His name was Paul Altman, and him and his wife are trying to have a baby, but of course the wife can't have. They're trying, but nothing's happening. So, and the little twist on that was that the wife actually used to date Jason Bateman for 9 months, and then the older brother pretty much started seeing her, and then they got married, and now they're happily married, trying to have a baby, and she's going crazy because she can't have a baby. So that storyline was I really felt for her. So that was a nice little storyline going on there. But I mean, it was simple, it was small. There wasn't too much of it. There was a little bit of drama here and there. She tried to sleep with Jason Bateman towards the end because she really wants that baby, and I guess the older brother wasn't really doing it. But other than that, it was a nice little storyline to get the story. I mean, it didn't take away from the story really at all. It was nice, sweet moments. But then we have Jane Fonda, the mother. I mean, she's grieving. She has all her kids at the house and stuff. But before we get to Jane Fonda, actually, let's get to Adam Driver. Adam Driver. A lot of people praise this guy, and as you know, he's going to be in the upcoming Star Wars Episode 7. He's also going to be in, there was talks that he'd be Nightwing for Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I've seen him in another movie, but I can't think what movie that was. But he's okay. He's okay acting-wise. In this film, I felt like he was miscast because he looks nothing like any of the other cast members. There's no believability that he is the brother of any of them, especially as a younger brother. Also, his accent was kind of getting on my nerves. Like, either the mom had an affair, or just this guy's not really. I'm just not feeling that accent. I think he had a little bit of an accent. It's taking me out of the movie for a little bit. So his character was kind of the weakest link. I mean, he was just a man child. He would sleep. He slept with another woman. Him and the Nashville chick were fighting because they had different, she wanted pretty much him to grow up, and it was that same old story. And he was doing kind of buffoonery things. His character was the weakest link in that film. There were some parts where it was kind of funny that he was in, but it was just a little bit. I just felt like he was just miscast. But I would love to see that guy and Adrian Brody. Yeah, be in the film, because the battle of the noses, man, the battle of the noses. Okay, but let's talk about Jane Fonda's character. There is one. We're gonna go to the spoiler because there's one big spoiler at the end that I thought completely, like, either you love it or you hate it. Me, I'm like on the fence of it. I'm like, it really just came out of nowhere. So at the end of the film, everybody pretty much gets their shit together. Jason Bateman is pretty much going to see Rose Byrne's character. Dax and Jason Bateman's wife split. So Jason Bateman said he would be there for her when the child is born, and he wouldn't leave her side. So they have this whole agreement and shit. And then Tina Fey, the husband leaves. I mean, he's only there for a little bit, then he has to leave, and then Tina Fey pretty much sleeps with the neighbor guy that's played by, his name is Hori, who's played by Timothy from Justice. I think it's Justice, the Cowboy Show. Correct me if I'm wrong. So in her situation, I mean, she goes back to her everyday life with the husband who's a prick. Because we're told and we're shown, but like, there's really nothing to his character. He did not need to be there. They got Adam Driver and his the Nashville girl splitting off. They split, and uh, him and the older brother decide to go in business and do the take over their dad's business. So they have a little happy ending. Um, Sadly, the older brother's wife is not pregnant, so but that's good. That's good that they didn't throw that in there too. But yeah, Jason Bateman decides he needs to go back, help with the raising a baby, and then come back and be with Rose Byrne. But let's go to the mom though. The spoiler is this: so the mom's grieving, and we find out that the whole Shiva thing, where they had to sit down and pretty much be a family for 1 week in one household, was actually not their dad's dying wish, but it was Jane Fonda's idea. And why is it Jane Fonda's idea? Because she wanted to come out and say that she was gay. And the woman that she was with is the friend of the families, who's also the mother of the Hori, the mother of Hori, Timothy's character that Tina Fey sleeps with. So yeah, I mean, those two are seeing each other, Jane Fonda and the friend of the family, the woman friend of the family. So they're a lesbian, and it totally just comes out of nowhere. It kind of it's like what? And this is at the very end, and they're like, what? What's going on? And basically, she explains that yeah, the dad knew that they were a lesbian, and that they had feelings for each other, and it was, I mean, okay, so Jane Fonda basically turns a lesbian out of nowhere. She has what, 4 kids, and now she's just a lesbian and she's falling. So it was a little. I don't know if it was. I guess it was nice that they did have a twist at the end, but I don't know if that twist was necessary because it was so out of left field. It's so just out of nowhere, and it felt like it's just shoehorned in. Like let's give an audience something to really talk about. So that twist was. It's either you hate it or you love it. It's out of nowhere, really. Okay, now that we talked to all the characters, let's talk about just the film overall, directing wise and stuff. Directing, it was nicely shot. It had that indie kind of feel. Uh, Good camera positions, except the editing was. There was one part where Jason Bateman and the older brother are like having this little fight. No, it was Jason Bateman trying to stop Adam Driver and the older brother Corey Stoll's character fighting, and Jason Bateman gets thrown into a clock. That whole scene, like they're all going back and forth, like all saying they're one piece, but that whole scene is cut so rapid. It kind of got me a little bit dizzy. It was just like everywhere was just like it was rapid. It was rapid cutting. It was going from this face to that face to that face to that face to that face. Like it was nonstop. So that was a little. I mean, just I was like, keep the camera just a little bit longer. So there's some rapid cuttings in this film. But overall, the music, there's not too much about the music. There's really kind of no score. So there's not too much about that. But overall, it was a well directed film. I mean, story wise, script wise, it could have definitely been hammered a little bit more. Editing wise, pace wise, it was not that great. This movie is an hour and 43 minutes long. It did not need to be an hour and 43 minutes long. It felt too long. It felt like they could have cut some stuff out. Definitely some of the side characters. So, yeah, I mean, there's really not that much to talk about in this film because this film is not. You're probably not going to remember it in a couple of years due time. It was a nice little flick to go out in the weekend and watch, but it wasn't something that's going to last forever in your mind. But I do recommend watching this, like what we said in the other review. It was just it had more problems than good elements to it. But you know what? The cast is all great. They have all great chemistry. Even though Adam Driver I felt was miscast, he still provided something to the film. And all in all, this film not too bad. I do recommend it. If you're a fan of just it's rated R, so you can't don't take your little kids to this. But that kid definitely best supporting actor. He stole the show. So basically, yeah, that's my thoughts. That's the spoilers. Let me know what you guys think in the bottom. What did you like it? Did you not like it? What are the things that work? What are the things that didn't work? And basically, let's try this out. Let's try this out. Come on, shake it loose, shake it loose. All right, okay, guys, that's it for me. So grab a tick, grab a seat. I hope there's some good popcorn to eat. See you at the cinema. Later, guys.